morning.
Good morning. Hey, hi. How are you? Sorry about that, buddy. What's going on?
No problem. Did I wake you up?
No, man. Just trying to get some stuff done around the house here, and I had to get everybody in order so I could sit down and talk to you and not be bothered. What's going on, my friend?
Juggling balls, right?
Yes, exactly.
Juggling and trying your best not to drop any.
Exactly. So I saw your ad out there. I'm definitely interested in getting into the wrestling business. But I want to be honest with you. I'm looking to be solely on the money side. I'm not really, creative. I'm not really, anything like that. I just like it. I kind of want to just pay and then watch the show. So I hope that's kind of what you're looking for too.
Yeah, well, let me ask you something, Vito. You mentioned that you'd been to the WrestleMania where you saw Warrior and Hogan, and that I think you said something to the degree that you didn't understand why there wasn't any real production with the indies.
Oh, I mean, like stage setups, screens, professional rings, with barricades around them. A lot of these independent shows that I go to, they're just roped off, if you're even lucky, by some caution tape. Yep. I just said there's no production value to it. So I was just kind of curious what your take on it was, and basically, I don't want to waste anybody's time, and if we don't have a pretty similar vision, right?
No, you're right. You're right about that. I mean, if you're going to do something, don't do it half-baked. Do it first class. Make it professional. Make it look good, and just run it like you should run any business. Here's my thoughts. Okay, and something a model like this can be absolutely expanded, but I don't believe in trying to expand from Jump Street. Start, it's a building process like anything. You build, and as you build it, you go after different revenue streams, okay? So here in Greenville, in the South Carolina, great state, a lot going on, and a lot of opportunity for a first-class independent wrestling promotion. Now, of course, you know who Piper was, and he, Roddy, his death of his first anniversary was July 31st when he passed away. So a little over a year since Roddy's.
Yeah, it was one of the saddest days ever.
Yeah, Roddy and I were very close. I mean, and we were both in the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, where Roddy really got his really first big break, and it's a wild story.
Oh, so you actually wrestled then? You're a former wrestler?
Yeah, Austin Idol. You can Google me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yeah, you can Google me. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's pretty good. I mean,
well, then you know what? Why don't you? And then I guess save me a little time. Just tell me a little about yourself, so I know who I'm potentially spending this kind of money with.
Yeah, sure. I was in the wrestling business active for about 15 years, and my thing really from the very beginning, I mean, it was to try to work smart. And, I mean, it's hard work, obviously, especially in the beginning when you're trying to make a name for yourself. And, I was up in New York for Vince Sr. in 1973 when it was WWF.
Yeah, no, I came in the Attitude Era. I was just a big Steve Austin fan. You ever met him?
Yeah, I know most of the guys.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I was in New York in 73. Lou Albano was my manager. Vince Sr. loved me. I hit it off with him. My last name, my real last name is McCord, M-C-C-O-R-D. So you got two Irishmen, and Vince just liked me. He liked me, and I could have stayed there forever. I mean, I really could have, but I didn't want to, and I don't begrudge anybody. I just didn't want to. I stayed there for about, a little over a year. Had a great run. I mean, really did. And just, and at that time, I was Iron Mike McCord. Vince gave me that name, Iron Mike, right? And, it was a great run. Great experience for me. I was like 25 years old.
Wait, were you the guy that had the black armband? The guy that would, in the 90s, Iron Mike?
No, that was Iron Mike. Oh, man, I can't remember his last name. No, I think there's been quite a few Iron Mikes, but...
Oh, okay.
I was Vince's Iron Mike, so that's, you know what? That's all that counted. It's the Big Apple, still the Big Apple, just like it was back then, you know. But anyway, so I was in a plane crash in 1975 down in Tampa, Florida. A small plane. A guy by the name of Bobby Shane, who was really, really getting hot in the business. He died. And Buddy, Colt, Gary Hart, and myself, we survived the plane crash. It's a miracle in itself. And moving forward, because of the crash and I had injuries. And
Was that the same one that Ric Flair was in?
No, but Flair's crash was shortly thereafter up here in the Mid-Atlantic with Valentine, and yeah, there's an amazing thing now. Valentine was the one who really, he was paralyzed, Johnny.
So what's your idea for this company then to make money?
Okay, here's what I think is a good idea to start with. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go back to Piper. His son, Colt Toombs, who's out in Nevada, in Las Vegas, we're very, very close. So close as that I'm his agent. It's a pretty cool deal. Now Colt, he wears the name, even though he's Colt Toombs, he's Roddy Piper's son, and the name Piper is very, very relevant to this day.
So does he wrestle?
Very, very little. Hardly any at all. He's done some MMA. Right now he's just finishing up a book. He'll be going on a little book signing tour very soon. I don't think it's going to be a long tour, but regardless, he'll be going on a tour to promote the book. But again, this area is where Roddy really got his first big break, and that name Piper is still very relevant.
Don't you think a lot of those fans have died off, though? I mean, literally have just died off now. I mean, we got to be honest with ourselves, too. I mean, if we're going to try to infuse a bunch of money into something to make money, I mean, just using the Piper name and his kid who's never had any matches but a couple MMA matches, I mean, doesn't that kind of sound a little stretched?
No, I think it's just the opposite.
So what is the advertising? And just bear with me. I'm just a money guy, so I'm just trying with monetary statements. So I'm assuming we do flyers, we do some internet, we get him on some radio, we start getting him into these places. So now I'm going to have to call these radio stations and I'm going to say, hey, I have the son of Roddy Piper, and they're going to go, okay, well, what does he do? And I'm going to say, well, he wrote a book, and they're going to say, okay, great, but does he wrestle? No, he had some MMA fights. Did he win?
Yeah, but he has wrestled a little bit. But here's the thing. Here's the hook. He's underexposed, and I think he would be a huge drawing card because he'd be so novel. He'd be a novelty. People still remember Piper. I'm going back to Piper. I seriously believe they would want to come see Roddy Piper's son. Yeah, I sure do, and I think that they would. Now, is it a guarantee? No. But nothing is.
Do you think we should put him against like Bret Hart's nephew, Teddy Hart?
What about Hart?
Teddy Hart. Have you ever heard of Bret Hart's nephew, Teddy Hart?
No.
Oh wow, no kidding. Yeah, he's really. I think that you should put them in the ring together if you're going to try to do something, because he's really killing it right now. Who else would you put him in the ring with?
Well, you know what? If he's out there, have you seen the kid wrestle?
Oh yeah, he's in Ring of Honor. I've seen him wrestle in Japan. He's been touring Mexico for the last 10 years. Absolutely.
Yeah. How old is he?
Oh God, he's got to be early 30s.
Probably contract with Ring of Honor.
No, not anymore.
Perfect.
Yeah, we should.
Perfect.
We should ink that deal.
Perfect. Utilize him.
Yeah, let's ink that deal.
Utilize them. So there you go. You got two sons of icons, and you have them on the same card. And there's no telling what you could do with that in terms of really creating something exciting and leaving it in a way where people would want to come back and see whatever you did, right, to create that excitement. But you can use, I think what you do, Vito, you use a combination of some of the old-timers okay? Because, the old saying, nostalgia makes the heart grow fonder. It's not always out of sight, out of mind, especially in the wrestling business. It really isn't. And then you bring in Piper's Kid, you bring in the Heart, Teddy Hart, and a combination of others. Maybe we throw in, people who are really relevant in this Mid-Atlantic area. The Rock and Roll Express, Jimmy Cornette. I mean, there's so many different personalities that I can reach out to and grab them without any problem whatsoever. I mean, no problem whatsoever. And I believe like anything, you gotta promote, man, and it has to be guerrilla style.
So what's your plan there? What's your plan to promote?
You got the street. You gotta have.
I get all that. Are you gonna because I do canvassing for my plumbing company, so I send people door to door for a service. Okay.
There you go.
So, but I'm asking you, what's your idea of I mean, I get guerrilla marketing, I get all that shit, but what's the actual plan? Are we gonna hire 10 people and pay them X amount of dollars a week? Like, what's the exact plan to get the marketing out there?
First of all, you go there. You know what I mean? When I say you and me, I go there and I meet people. I mean, you grab a radio jock on the maybe not just one, but you get a DJ that everybody knows in that little town, that everybody knows, and you're going to get him involved, make him the ring announcer. He's going to be excited. He's going to give away a whole lot of free publicity on that station. Absolutely, get involved with the schools. Get involved with the schools.
But you're asking me to invest $125,000, and I'm just trying to see where is that money going other than your pocket. Like, where is it going?
Well, now, Vito, is your question you're going to spend $125,000 right from the get-go? That's not the question, is it?
No, I'm just saying you're asking me to infuse money into this system. Me being a money guy goes, well, what's my return on my investment? Because if there's no return on the investment, then as a money guy, then there's zero effort in doing it. So I'm just asking you, what's the return on it? Like, I know Piper's Kid versus Teddy Hart. Okay. But like, I'm asking you, so we go into this and we want what done with it? And I don't want a lot of the back and forth. I just want like exact, this is my plan. I'm going to hire 10 guys. We're going to hit the streets. We're going to do this neighborhood. We're going to do it this way. So I'll need 10,000 flyers made by this date. These YouTube ads cost this much money. I want to put them in these kind of markets. Like, is any of that going on? Or are you just simply talking the old way where you put flyers in gas station windows?
No, you got to have a combination, like you just mentioned. You got to do what you just mentioned. You got to get everybody's got to. You can have World War III. If nobody knows about it, no one's going to come. So yeah, you got to hit all aspects of that. What you just mentioned. Sure, you can do mail outs. You can do so many different. You obviously know a lot about marketing.
Right, but what's your plan? Is what I'm asking.
To blanket that city. To blanket it in every possible way, but doing it smart and not doing it by just wasting money. You can waste money all day long, but the way to do. Let me give you an example of something real quickly. Back in the '80s, Vito, I was wrestling in the southeast down in the Alabama area. Okay, and I decided to quit. Okay, I quit, but I was hot off of that television. I was hot off that TV. I went into Birmingham, Alabama, all by myself. This is going back a ways, but I went into Birmingham, Alabama, all by myself. There was a building there, still there, called the Jefferson County Civic Center. It's a big building. Back then, it was the big building. Vince, WWE, they wouldn't even go there at the time because they didn't think they could draw there. They didn't think they could put enough families in the seats there. I went in there and I brought in a card, okay? I brought in a card back then, okay? Road Warriors, Abdullah the Butcher, Stan Hansen, myself, Jerry Lawler. I mean, I just stacked that friggin' card. I went to the television station, the hottest television station in town, Channel 6. We had edited tapes. I did the voiceovers, and I scheduled those scheduled those commercials, those promos, about 6 weeks out, and as we got closer to the event, then really build it up, and it, really hit him hard with it. Matter of fact, Uncle Elmer, who was back.
And what did it draw? Was it a big draw?
We did $50,000. Now, $50,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it's all relative. In the '80s, that was unheard of. Now, why it was unheard of? Because I didn't have television. I didn't have a weekly
right, but
television.
Arguably, you took the biggest stars in the business at the time and used them. I mean, like that's like me using the biggest stars that are on TV right now and putting them on something I would draw as well too. No.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can imagine using your philosophy of gas station flyers and me putting, let's say CM Punk on a flyer and Cody Rhodes and Kurt Angle and all these guys. They sure as shit I'm going to draw some people.
Well, yeah, you should. I mean, Vince's ratings aren't sky high either. You know what I mean?
No, but you're saying at the time using Stan Hansen and those guys. Of course, those guys are going to draw. Those guys are draws, man. They're draws anywhere, right?
Should. They should. I mean, they should. But I believe in some exotic promoting. I mean, you got to have a gimmick. You got to have a hook. Whether you're getting somebody involved, whether it's a football coach, whether it's a town celebrity, you get people involved. This guy, everybody knows this guy, and you package all this up. You button it up with talent. You button it up with local people that everybody knows. You're going to draw money.
What do you think? Do you think kids show or adult show?
A kid show or an adult show?
Yeah, what's your target market?
It has to be you don't rule anybody out. You rule everybody in.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're looking more for like a PG, audience or show more so than like an over 18 show.
No, everybody in. Parents bring their kids. If their kid's 8 years old, they bring them. You rule everybody in. No.
Right, but I mean, like, what I mean is you wouldn't do like, scantily clad chicks and shit rolling around in there because it's a kid show.
Say it again, please. You broke up.
You wouldn't have like scantily clad chicks rolling around in the ring. You wouldn't do any of those kind of spots because there's no.
No, I mean,
there's no kids.
It's not. No, it's not necessary. I mean, we're not selling that. I mean, if we had a television program, if we were going to be on somewhere. If we're going to be on cable somewhere, that's a different ballgame. Oh yeah, you want to have some sexy, some sex in there. I mean, we're going to have hot and sexy, yeah. But I mean, not for this, but down the road.
Yeah, I was at this bar show one time. This is kind of a funny story. I was at a bar show and they had get this. I swear they had a dildo on a pole match. Now get how you win this match. You win the match by going up, grabbing it, and shoving it into your opponent's mouth. Now, what do you think about a match like that?
Awful.
Why is that? It was a competitive match. They even did some chain wrestling.
It's my opinion. I don't like it. Yeah, it's my opinion. I don't like it. No, it's not wrestling. I don't like it. I mean, you certainly got to be creative enough to bring people in to make them want to see whatever event you're going to have. But no, I mean, that's what. Wrestling's changed. Everything changes.
I'll tell you what, though. The crowd was chanting dildo, 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 like the whole match. And then the guys played into it, and it became like this really big thing. It was epic. People still talk about it today. And like I say, then the way you win is by doing that. It's pretty offensive all the way around, and I think it does something. And I think it'll makes people react. You don't like shock wrestling at all?
You're not. We're talking about night and day. You know what I mean? That's not going to work. It's really not going. You're not going to get everybody involved in that in terms of people paying ticket buyers. They're not going to bring the kid.
Like for instance, if you're at the bar, you get off of work, you're at the bar, you're with your buddies, and your buddy goes, "This last weekend, this is option A and option B." Option A, he goes, "I saw Roddy Piper's kid that's never wrestled before have a match," or option B being, "I saw a dildo on a pole match where a guy had to shove a dildo in another dude's mouth to win the match." Which one would you go? What? Wouldn't you want to go back and see that if you were that guy? Wouldn't option B be better?
Now, maybe for you, but not for me.
I'm just asking to draw money. I want my money to turn into more money, and I don't know if old school wrestling from the South is worth 125,000. So I'm just trying to figure out where my money gets returned.
Well, it's got to be it's got to be a combination. I mean, if you think you got to have dildos and pole matches to make money and draw money, then something's wrong there. I mean, it's just something's wrong there. Yeah, I believe in pushing the envelope, but I want to be able to go to a city where people say, "Hey, I'll come back. I'll bring the kids. I'll bring the family, whatever, whoever." But you can get run out of town pretty quickly like that too.
Sure.
Vito.
What about like chicken fights or dog fights on stuff? Would you do that like during like intermission?
What did you say about dog fights?
Yeah, would you do anything like chicken fights or dog fights or any kind of thing during intermission?
You know what? It just wasn't very clear. Well, I think we're both on speaker, but about during intermission, you said something about dog fights, didn't you?
I'm sorry. You're on my earpiece here in my office. It's the only way I can get my phone to work, so it sounds a little fuzzy.
Yeah. What did you say about intermission and dog fights?
Yeah, or like chicken fights or something during intermission. I think that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, you got to have something there. Whether it's depending on where you are, depending on who. Yeah, whether it's live music or you may bring in somebody that like one of the guys who does stand-up comedy. I mean, you might bring in some. You got guys that are out there that are doing stand-up comedy. But there's different ways. First of all, on intermissions, you want to get their money.
Right. There's this really big thing up here. There's it's called preteen MMA. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big thing up here where these little kids beat the shit out of each other. It's pretty interesting. I think that'd be fun during intermission.
Now, see, I like that. I think that's cool. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. We've got to be careful in terms of liability,
Yeah, you just have them sign a piece of paper. They beat the shit out of each other. It doesn't matter. The kids roar. Everybody else likes it. It's something to watch.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty cool, and you promote that. You promote the crap out of that. Absolutely.
See, now I think if we get a preteen MMA fighter to fight Roddy Piper's kid, now we have some magic.
Listen, brother, and Piper, when you get a chance, go to YouTube and Google Colt Toombs.
And why isn't he using his dad's name? Isn't that the stupidest thing ever?
Well, have you ever heard of somebody wanting to make it on their own and not rely on their father's name?
Yeah, I understand all that, and then but they still get over when you're told, well, he's still Roddy Piper's kid. It's not like it's a secret.
Exactly. So that's like flipping a coin, which is the way to go. Now, if you're going to use him here in MMA, or whether it's wrestling or either or, which you can do either or with him, you got to have that Piper name. You could do it, Colt Piper. Do it. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
You can go Colt. He doesn't care. He's a great kid. He's a hell of an athlete. YouTube him. Colt Toombs, just YouTube him. The last one of the few matches, and this kid can go. I mean, he's a real deal athlete. I mean, he's a real friggin' deal. He's an adrenaline freak. I mean, whatever it is, he's an adrenaline freak. And there's a YouTube of him on there, and ironically, it's in L.A., and Roddy was doing commentating at the desk with another guy, and it's just kind of surreal. But when you talk to Colt, he sounds just like his dad. I mean, you think you're talking to Roddy.
I only got a couple more minutes, and I got to jump back off this phone. So I'm not really sure where to go next with this as far as what you're thinking. I pretty much like everything that I'm hearing, except I'd like to go a little bit more adult, but I can bend a little bit. When do you think we can follow up and maybe have another conversation?
Well, certainly sometime this week. But here's another part of this thing, okay? I think it would be really a great idea to have a developmental school here. Okay,
Yes.
it's another revenue stream.
So you're saying like right from the beginning, start a company, start a school, start everything, no back end credibility at all, just besides old school names, and just go all in.
Well, sure, yeah, it wouldn't cost that much really to find the appropriate space to lease. You throw a nice ring in there, and you really create this
So what are we talking? How
atmosphere
much?
for the whole thing.
The whole thing, start to finish. We got a performance center. How much?
Well, if you put 100 and a quarter in the can, it's not all going to get spent. I mean, from the get go, that's for sure. But you've got yourself certainly plenty of working capital.
Well, I bought the building that my business is in, and it was $250,000. So I'm aware of what buildings cost and how they cost. So I'm saying if you're going to buy a performance center, I think it's going to cost more than $125,000. We can agree on that.
No, we can't agree on that. No, because we don't have to buy the building. We find a deal. We find a great deal on the right building, and we lease it. It's a
So
write-off.
what's your cost per square foot for building out by you guys?
If you wanted to build one,
No, I'm saying like build outs. Like I'm sure you've already figured all this out because you're starting a business. What's it cost to build this space out? How many square feet do you need to put this facility in there?
oh, it doesn't have to be that large, but let's say 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
There's no problem at all to find a 5,000 square foot building that's just been sitting there.
And what does it rent
that
for?
you could, wait a minute, and that you can make a hell of a deal on, and it's all essentially ready to go. It's got the bathrooms, it's got the showers. You put that ring in there, and then you create this exciting atmosphere.
I get all that. I'm with you on all that. I don't got to be sold on that. I'm just trying to figure out what is it going to, what are we getting out of that? What's it going to cost? What would it cost to put it in? Do you want to put a gym in there? What's it cost to put a gym in there? Like what's the? I mean, like I'm saying, this is your business. What's it going to cost?
Well, your ring's going to cost you $5,000. You get that from High Spots. You know who High Spots is, right?
No, I never heard of them.
Oh man, a buddy of mine owns them. They're in Charlotte. Michael Berticcio.
So he's your buddy. He should be able to get us a better deal on that. I mean, if not, I can have a steel manufacturer make us one. So
he makes all the rings for Vince.
Okay? Oh, Vince has High Spots rings, huh?
Yeah, High Spots. Google, you'll see this guy's making more money. You can friggin'. An unbelievable amount of money this guy makes. I've worked with him a few times. He's brought me in for personal appearances at these fan fests. I just did a fan fest a couple of weeks ago in Charlotte for Greg Price.
No, I never heard of him either.
The biggest fan fest in the world. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've done 2 or 3 for Greg. People come from all over the world for this.
Gotcha.
All over the world. Yeah, all over the world.
Like I say, I'm interested in all this. I can't spend all day on this right now. I do have the money to do this, and I'm ready to move whenever. But I just kind of want to hear a little more about an exact plan, a plan to execute the way that this is going to go, an exact location, so I can Google it and look at the place, make sure that it's going to work out, check for there's parking. I'm a real businessman. I'm not just some hope and dream. I'm not a hope and dream guy. I'm a direct. Find out what it is, find out what it costs, do it, and then look at the returns. That's it.
Yeah, I get it. I'm the same way.
All right, cool. So when do you think, how long it would take for you to get, some more information so we could have a real conversation?
Yeah, there's some things I can give you that'll be pretty close. Other things that are just they're a little too great. Like if you said to me, "Well, what's it going to cost to put on a live event in Charlotte somewhere, Greensboro? What's it going to do?" It depends on the building, right? There's your rent. It depends on that building.
Of course.
The talent you bring in. I mean, you can guesstimate on that, and as far as a building goes, I can poke around about a building. I know right from the get-go, a ring is $5,000, but it's first-class ring.
All right, we'll check it out. Look, I've never done this before, but I'm just going to make some assumptions, and this is what I mean by getting me numbers. I can look for a roundabout price of rentals. I would assume rentals are anywhere between. You could probably find them at $300 a month, and you could probably pay as much as $5,000 to rent out a concert venue. That's one cost. Ring rental, I'm sure there's local guys that'll come sling up their ring for me for a couple $100 anytime that I need them to. Then guys, a roster. I need 25 people. I don't even know. I'm just making it up. 25 people at X amount of dollars a copy is this, plus some stars that need this. This would be this, and this. The first 3 shows I want to bring in this many people. I want a business plan. This should all be easy to do if you've been doing this as many years as you said you've been doing it. Like I say, I'm just a businessman. Just hit me with the business stuff, hit me with the numbers, and don't waste my time on the hope and dream stuff.
Yeah, I'll try to work on that and put a little something together, something you can kind of digest a little bit, and get it to you. Do I have your actual email address, or what did you do?
I don't remember, but I could text you when I get off the phone here. A good email address you can send it to.
Yeah, just text me your email address, then over the course of the next few days, let me see if I can't put something together, and we'll see if it goes anywhere. And if it does, Vito, great. And if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world for either one of us. I'm doing okay myself, and I know you are too. So
I'm just looking to make money, man. And I like I say, I'm just looking to make money. So just show me how to make the money.
Okay, brother.
All right, man.
Shoot me your email address.
You got it, man.
Okay, have a good one.
All right, bye now.
You've reached 8644. What sound of the tone? Leave your name, your number, and a brief message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Austin, this is just Vito giving you a call back. Want to go over the rest of this thing, see if we can ink this deal, get this thing going. Talked with Teddy Hart. He's totally down. Loves the idea of Piper's kid. I guess they know each other. Used to skateboard together or something. So give me a call back. Let's go over this. 925. I got a lead on a building too. So give me a call, man. Bye. Hey, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. Hey, how's it going?
Doing great. I thought you were going to call me at 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, I didn't know if we had an exact time set up. I'm sorry. Did we specify a time?
Yeah, we did. But that's okay. That's all right. No big deal.
Okay, so after our conversation we had last week, did you find those numbers for me out, or any kind of due diligence on the actual numbers?
No, I didn't, Vito. I'll tell you why, okay? Because I know that first our inaugural conversation, okay? But just being up front, when I got off, I wasn't really, didn't have that good feeling like this might actually work out, okay? I'm just saying that, okay? I'm just being honest with you. Yeah, but the other thing is, and again, wrestling, it's not like plumbing, and that's the business you're in, right? Or pizza, like the business I'm in. I mean, we know that. We can put a model together there with no problem, really, because we know the businesses, right? Respectively. Wrestling is such a exotic, gray business. I mean, especially on something like an independent promotion, like we're talking about. There's just a lot of unknowns there. There's just a lot of unknowns. There's some knowns, yes, but and here's the thing. I mean, I could have dedicated an awful lot of time to put that together, and I thought about it. I really thought about it, and the thing is, I thought, well, okay, cost of the possible building cost, talent cost. Are they driving in? Are they flying in? Depending on where, what, who, costs, promotion. I mean, ring, whatever. It would require a lot of work. Okay, so and I thought about that. So well, I could really sit down and grind this thing out, but then. Vito, we don't know each other. We had a conversation, and I do all this work, and Vito says, not interested.
Well, so let me ask you a question, though. All that information should have been ready when you were asking somebody for $125,000 to invest, don't you think? I mean, don't you think, like, I wasn't asking for anything odd. I was asking for, what it costs to rent, what it costs to do something, like your basic cost of business, right? I mean, it's not plumbing, like you said, I know that, but there's still a business side of this where you actually got to treat it a little bit like a business, right?
You do, and you absolutely you do.
Okay.
And I'm going back to, let's say, for example, somebody who's really familiar with the wrestling business, okay? I'm just using this as an alternative. They're very familiar with the wrestling business. They pretty much know how it works, and they kind of get it, okay? Then they would have a better understanding. This is certainly not a knock to you, but they would have a better understanding. Say, oh, okay, you want to go promote here, here, and here, and here. I get it. Okay, what's it going to cost? Is it going to cost me X just to kind of some little seed money to get the thing started? Then we kind of build it up slowly, and if that's the case, then yeah, we'll put a little bit more into it, a little more into it. But as far as
do you want to know what I think? My spidey sense is going off a little bit. I think I asked you real questions that you didn't have answers for, and I think after you thought about it for a while, I think you realize you really don't have a business in mind here. Is there any of that going on?
You're saying you believe that I don't have a business in mind?
Yeah, I think this is just fantasy land for you because you don't have any of these numbers, or I think you were wasting my time more than the other way around. I actually am a legitimate buyer. I was wanting to get involved with this. I brought these very simple questions to you, and I think it turned you off because I think you were just trying to hustle some mark out of money.
Oh, no, I don't need to do that, Vito. I don't need to hustle anybody at anything, somebody, they want to be in the business, and everybody's kind of on the same page and gets along, but hustling, nah, that's not my thing, man.
Actually, you know what, man? I've been in the wrestling business for almost 20 years, and I was just goofing on you. This whole thing, I've just been goofing on you. I saw your thing that you were looking for somebody. I knew you weren't being serious, so I thought I would just goof on you.
Okay, well, it's okay, Vito. At least we had a couple conversations, and no harm, no foul.
What's it like to get made fun of on the phone?
Pardon me?
What's it like to get made fun of on the phone? Is it funny?
I'm not sure what you're saying, Vito.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, don't try to hustle people. I think you're wasting people's times. And just maybe, do you like Dr. Pepper?
Vito, here's the thing. You've got your life, I've got mine. We're both happy, and it's all good. You said you've been in the wrestling business for 20 years? Doing what?
Well, I obviously wasting my time in it, like you. I've been wasting my time on this phone.
Well, no, I mean, not really. I mean, I'm living in the wrestling business, Vito. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I did.
You were asking for $125,000. A businessman asked you very simple business questions. You didn't have any of those answers. And you didn't call anybody back to do anything about it because I think you knew you couldn't hustle me. That's the reality of it.
Vito. Not really, Vito. I mean, you said you've been in the wrestling business 20 years. Doing what?
Obviously nothing. I didn't learn any skills like how to con people into a long phone call about business. I didn't learn any of that in the wrestling business.
What's your history in the wrestling business? I'm just curious.
It really doesn't matter at this point, does it?
No, you said I've never heard of you before. You've been in the business for years. I've never heard of you. I mean,
yeah, no. I wouldn't have expected you to hear from me. You've been down south ripping people off, trying to put these little podunk shit shows on with Roddy Piper's kid. I don't doubt it.
No, I bet people in the wrestling business, especially people who've been in the business for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would know who they are. I've never heard of you. I mean, what did you do? Did you promote? Did you wrestle in some capacity, or?
I've just watched every pay-per-view in 20 years. That's where I get all my knowledge.
Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, listen. Obviously you still have an interest in doing something with the wrestling. So obviously I'm not your guy, but I would suggest.
Do you? But for real though, do you like Dr. Pepper?
Don't drink that stuff, man.
Give me a Dr. Pepper, bitch.